children of Israel.
All praises.
Israel is Yahweh.
Exactly. All praises.
Hi.
Yeah, Shalom.
The brother has his own comment.
Get through it, man.
What's the storyline behind it?
So the story, it takes place in a future apocalyptic world. There's essentially these different groups that are trying to enforce their influence on the world, take control over the infrastructure. The main couple of characters are essentially trying to find their place to see who they should align themselves with, if anyone at all. It's much less of a superhero story. It's more of a who is the hero, if there is a hero kind of discussion. So there's a lot of like different moral ambiguity in the story, in the verse. There's a lot of philosophical questions, philosophical debates. I take a lot of inspiration from manga, obviously, from different comics, Marvel and DC, etc. History. So
You said our history?
I'm sorry?
You said from our history?
Yeah, I take a lot of inspiration from our history.
Slacking real quick, because we was already going down that line. So he says that he's wearing a mitra because of Free Palestine, right? So he's Muslim, right? So my question that I have for you about the Yaqub, right? Who is Yaqub? You said that's the father of the nation of Israel, right?
Yes.
So if you're Muslim, you believe in the Quran?
Yes, sir.
Now, doesn't the Quran say that Allah bestowed a favor upon the children of Israel?
Yes.
It does, right?
Yeah.
So who would the children of Israel be today?
Children of Israel essentially do not exist today.
They don't, so they're wiped off the face of the earth?
More or less.
More or less. How is that possible when you are the seed of your father? So pretty much if an Israelite comes from Jacob, right, and then there was Israelites that came from their loins and so on and so forth, how were they wiped off the face of the earth? Wouldn't they still be here today?
So, I mean, of course the blood is still there. I'm not saying that they were...
So somebody said...
The bloodline doesn't exist, but I'm saying that, like, for example, if we look at the Israelites in Israel right now, they're not of a pure descent, is more what I'm saying. So, like...
well, real quick, how do you prove descent from a certain group of people?
The best way to prove it would say that, this guy is the son of this guy, he's the son of this guy, he's the son of... But obviously we can't do that. But if we look at, like for example, Moses, right? Moses in the Quran.
You got it.
Or not necessarily the Quran, but Moses in Islam, we call him Musa, and he was described to be a brown man, a dark brown man. And he was described to be from the darkest of the tribes in Arabia by our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we know that Moses was from Bani Israel.
Can somebody do it? Oh, I got a cough.
He was from the children of Israel. So that's one thing that we can extrapolate, that the children of Israel, at least the original ones, were of darker complexion, right? If you look at and he was also described to have hair like wool. So essentially he was being described to be a black man.
Let's not get too hung up on color, because there's Israelites who are pretty fair-skinned or light-skinned. It's all about the seed of your father, right?
Yeah, but my point is that the current Israelites, quote-unquote, that live in Israel...
Well, those are Israelis. Those aren't Israelites.
That's my point.
They don't descend from the man named Israel.
That's my entire point here.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, we're on the same...
That was his point.
That was my point.
He was saying he said he don't think they the true ones, the blood descent from there.
Oh, okay, yeah. So let's pick up from there. Like my brother asked, how do you prove to find out who descends and who doesn't?
Why is it relevant?
Because the people are still here today, the Israelites.
But why does it matter?
Well, are the Israelites God's chosen people?
I mean,
because you claim to be a Muslim, correct?
I am.
Your Quran states that Allah bestowed the favor upon the children of Israel.
Okay.
So that would mean that they're God's chosen people.
Okay, but the Quran also talks about how the children of Israel have... So it's a difficult conversation, because the Bani Israel, children of Israel, during the time of Moses, they disobeyed. I'm sure you're familiar with this. They disobeyed, and they fought against Moses in a lot of different ways. They killed their prophets. They killed John, Yahya. They killed John the Baptist. They killed a bunch of other prophets. They killed Jesus. Isa.
They didn't. We gotta stop you. They didn't kill John the Baptist. John the Baptist's head was beheaded on the platter by the Roman.
Okay.
Not by the children of Israel. So
Okay,
you
well,
have to
that's-
retract that.
That's
pure history.
That's a difference of opinion. But
Well, no. That's a historical fact because we gotta. One thing that we gotta do is that we gotta remain on the historical facts and the historicity of the Bible,
okay.
right? Because
well, I could be wrong. I could be.
No,
I'll
you're wrong.
admit to
You're
that.
wrong on that. Yeah. Okay. Go
all
ahead.
But the thing is, we also have to recognize the fact that the Bible is not. It doesn't have its integrity.
How doesn't it not? Let me ask you this: how doesn't it not? Because if you're gonna say that, then you gotta, Quran means recitation.
Correct.
Right? What does
But
it
it
recite?
also means read.
But the basic of the Arabic Quran means recitation. It's reciting.
Quran means recitation,
Yeah.
but the Quran is a recital and it's something that's to be read. As it was revealed, the first verse.
Yeah, we're not disputing that it can be read. But when you say the integrity of the Bible, it doesn't have it. I need you to substantiate what you mean by that. What does that mean? It's being that, and I'll add the context to it. Being that the Quran came over 420 years after the Bible, right? So go ahead.
600.
Go ahead.
Actually, over 600.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Because
you
it's a
want me to
medieval, came medieval.
substantiate my claim of the Bible not being.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Essentially, it's a well-known fact that the Catholic Church took out parts of the Bible and they withheld it from the general public. First of all, as a Muslim, I can attest to this from my own faith. So, for example, if you have an English translation of the Quran and then you have the Arabic Quran, those two things, every single Muslim will agree that they are not equivalent. Because the Semitic languages, because Arabic is a Semitic language,
So it's Hebrew.
the Arabs are Semites, just like how the Hebrew is a Semitic language.
Yeah.
The Semitic languages, they are of a higher quality, if you could say, than the languages, the Latin-esque languages or whatever.
And we get that, but how does that disprove the Bible?
So I was getting
the authenticity.
so I was getting there.
Yeah, okay.
One word in the Arabic language could mean 100 different things.
In English.
It could mean 100 different things.
Yeah.
And in English, you might translate it to one or two different phrases.
Well, no.
But
that's the thing, though, is that it means that one thing in Arabic. In English, there's many different translations because there's so many different words. That's why it's a confused language. But that's the thing, though, right? Because you're saying going back to the original languages, right? And we agree because there's more power in the original Semitic language.
Right.
Now, with that being said, we have the source documents of the Bible, so that would only be true. Yes, we read Hebrew. We speak Hebrew, read Hebrew. So we know that there is things that were tweaked in the King's English. We agree with that. Like Acts 12:4 shouldn't say Easter right there, it should say Passover. Right? So we agree. Or it should say Pesach, if you want to get into the language. But that would only be true if there wasn't source documents. That's what I'm saying.
So let me ask you, so you all, I'm assuming, are claiming to be children of Israel?
Yeah, well, not as far as claiming we can prove it, though.
Okay.
Not the claim.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I personally don't care.
For sure. Well, the reason you should care, though, is because you're a believer, right?
Yeah.
You believe in the Quran.
Yeah.
And like my
And
brother
the
just
Quran
stated.
was revealed by the brother of Jesus.
Yeah, so,
Well,
I wouldn't necessarily say that. That was far Muhammad. That
Yes, Muhammad came 600 years after.
yeah. And then
And they're brothers.
Exactly.
Because they're both prophets. All the
Wow,
prophets
whose
are
brothers?
He's saying Muhammad and
Muhammad and
Christ.
Isa and Jesus are
How
brothers.
can you prove that?
Because our prophet said so.
Hold on, Salaki.
So-
Wait, you know what cuts that? But you said that the children of Israel are gone, and this is the thing is, Muhammad comes from Ishmael, right? You do realize though, right? Muhammad was an Ishmaelite.
Ishmael.
Muhammad comes from Ishaq. He comes from the second son of Ibrahim.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. So
In the Quran, it
Abraham.
literally tells you that he
No,
is.
it doesn't. Abraham.
Okay.
Abraham had two sons.
Yeah, he did.
He had Ismail and he had Ishaq. Ismail had I don't know the English
Ishmael
version of
and
Ishaq.
Isaac.
Isaac. So Ismail, he had a long line of different prophets. Ishaq, he had no prophets until Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they're from a similar lineage, but Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes from Ishaq, and all the other prophets, including Isa, come from
Where can you
Ismail.
prove that?
I mean, I can pull up a family tree if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. But you're pulling up a family tree from somebody, from what though?
Arabic
From
nation.
Islam.
Where can you prove it though in the scriptures or the Hadith? Where can you prove that? Because the Hadith actually states that he's a white man.
Muhammad.
When he says, "Who amongst
What
you is
Hadith?
Muhammad?" This is
The Al-Bukhari, isn't it?
yeah. I'm gonna show you.
That he's a white man.
Yeah.
Show you right now. I don't have to lie to you, bro.
Do you speak Arabic?
Yes. Well, no, not fully.
Do you know what the Arabs used to refer to white people as?
What
They
is
used to
that?
call them red.
Oh, praises. We understand that, but when it's transferred
And
into
do you know how
English,
the prophet
no, real quick though,
was
because
described?
when that hadith was translated into the English,
Yeah.
when it's talking about a white man, it's talking about a literal white man, like the pale face.
No, they would refer to him as a red man.
in the Arabic, right?
Yes, and they would translate it.
Into a white man, because the Arabic is referring to him as a red man.
Okay, but that's something that not everyone necessarily knows.
But basically, what he's saying is, either way it goes, he's being referred to as the Edomite nation. No matter which language you're saying it in, red or white,
That's the one.
it's still referring back to a different bloodline of people.
Okay, sure, but what's the point in saying that the prophet he wasn't? He was an Arab.
Well, the point in saying that the prophet was a white man because you said he was the brother of Christ, which would make no
Jesus
sense.
wasn't a white man.
And he wasn't Arabic
wasn't
either.
He wasn't Arabic either.
No, he wasn't.
So how would he be the brother of Christ?
They're brothers because they were both prophets.
No.
So
Now this is something that my faith teaches that you couldn't understand unless you were part of my faith.
Well, yeah,
But-
that's
so
a-
my
for a second, could you just kind of sit back and analyze how that wouldn't make no sense?
I understand biologically they can't be prophets. They were
They can't be
600
brothers.
I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah. Biologically they can't be brothers because they're 600 years apart. But I'm saying that in Islam we have the concept of brotherhood and sisterhood.
Yeah.
And the prophets and all of the believers, all of the Muslims, we're all brothers and sisters. in
all
our
of,
faith.
all of the Israelites were brothers and sisters.
My brothers
Yeah, you believe.
died 1,400 years ago.
Well, yeah, you believe, but that's what I'm saying. What you believe in came 600 years after the
Correct.
exactly. So approximately. So because we're like 580 or something like that. But regardless, though, that comes after the scriptures, the holy scriptures, of which Quran means to recite because it's reciting the Torah. Right, and the not just the Torah, but the Tanakh as well, which is the wisdoms, right? So nowhere in the law or the wisdoms does it say that Muhammad was a prophet for one. And for,
where
it does.
says that?
Nowhere in the Torah nor the Tanakh does it say that Muhammad was a prophet.
So what?
That comes 600 years after Christ,
Okay.
and this is coming from by way of a religion that came from not the chosen line, not the
Do you
chosen
know
lineage.
another name of the prophet?
Another name of a prophet?
Another name of the prophet.
What do you
Well,
mean by-
hold on. Before we
Yeah.
even go there, you would have to stand on a lack of integrity from the Quran because
Yeah.
the Quran means to recite the first 5 books of the Bible. So if you're going to take
To
integrity,
recite the first 5 books of the Bible.
yes,
Which is the Torah.
which is called the Torah.
What about
That's
it?
the law.
The Old Testament, the Torah, yeah.
Yes,
The
And
Quran
the
means
Tanakh.
to recite
the
the Quran.
Torah.
The Quran is a separate book.
Yes,
Yes.
but the word Quran means to recite the Torah.
Ask him
What
this.
it's
No, the
reciting.
Quran means reciting.
Ask him this. What is the Quran reciting?
The Quran is a book.
No. You got to understand.
go ahead.
You can't recite something that doesn't exist. So
How does it not
the
exist?
Quran. Listen to me, brother. The Quran, because we led to believe you are, brother. We led to believe you're Israelite. Is your father so-called black
I don't care
Latino?
about being an
No, that's not. No, I didn't ask you what you care. I'm asking you a question. Is your father so-called black Latino Native American?
No,
He's not.
he's not Latino.
I said, is he a black,
Latino,
Latino, or Native American?
It doesn't matter.
So can you just answer the question?
He's an African American. I'm African.
Okay,
Well,
that was
so then it
hard to
doesn't
say.
matter. It doesn't matter who the Palestinians is either. Then we say it doesn't matter. These things matter though. What we're trying to show is that
No, they don't.
nationality matters.
It does not matter.
It clearly matters because it's in the Bible and it's in the Quran. So why would it matter if it's in the book that you believe in?
There are certain lineages that. So you're a monotheist, right?
No.
No,
Okay.
we believe that there's many gods. We have faith and we give reverence to only one true God. Doesn't mean that we're monotheists.
Mono ultra.
Yeah.
How? So and the Torah teaches that?
Yeah.
Yes. Like in Psalms, like in Psalms, Tanakh, he says, "Ye are gods," right? Which shows, and even the Most High God in Exodus 20, the first of the 10 Commandments is have no faith in other gods. So he's showing that there's other gods.
And you claim that the book has not been changed?
This is the thing, right, King? It's the understanding, right? Because you just went back to the language, right? So what is God in Hebrew?
Yahweh.
You sure?
Is it not?
No, God is Allah Hayam, which means powers. So that's in Hebrew and in Aramaic, which means powers. That Ayam is an S, so it makes it plural. So Allah is a title, which means God, which means power. That's not a name, that's a title, right? The name of our Allah, our power, is Yahweh.
Okay, so
You see that?
can I ask you, what is your goal here?
Our goal is to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which we led to believe you would be one of them.
Because
I'm sorry, I
Christ,
didn't hear the last part.
he said the goal is to wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel, which we believe you would be one of, and that we could most likely prove that you are through the scriptures. And it's
I've already-
relevancy. Hold on, it's
I've already explained that I don't care.
But listen, the relevancy, you're going to care after this. The relevancy is that Christ is only coming back to save the Israelites.
That's not true.
Can you prove that it's not?
I can.
Show us.
So, the original Israelites, they were Muslim.
What? You get to prove that.
Muslim.
Prove that.
Now wait, are you gonna say because they submitted to the will of God?
Yes.
That's you see that?
Forrest,
You see that?
Forrest was getting our head cut off.
Huh?
Was getting our heads cut off because we had to. It was either die or submit.
You know,
He
Islam.
mixing the meaning of Muslims with the religion of Muslims.
Well, the thing is, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with the same message that every single other prophet came with.
No,
No.
he
So
didn't.
Moses came with the same message that Muhammad came with.
No.
You said came with the same message that Muhammad
No.
came with. Okay, so why are they all considered prophets?
Okay, I'm gonna show you. What? Prophet Muhammad says, "Strike at the neck of the infidel," right? Which is in what's the surah, second surah? I forget exactly what it's.
behind that?
But listen, to,
Let's
hold on,
go
real
to
quick.
something more simpler though, because
The strike the woman.
no, I ain't even going there. Are you, according to the Quran, are you able to eat shrimp, crab, and lobster? Seafood?
Yes.
Well, in the Torah, we can't. We're forbidden from eating that.
And Moses said that we can't, according to the
Yeah, we're
Most High
forbidden
God.
from eating things without fancy scales, but in the Quran, that's not there. So that's two different teachings.
No, it's not a different thing.
If you can't eat it, hold on, follow me. If Quran says you can't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, right?
I understand.
But if the Torah tells us we can't, how is that not different?
So let me give you another example.
Let's stay there, though.
So let me give you another example.
No, stay there.
No, I'm with you.
Okay.
So let me give you. So
Is it different?
let me explain.
I know, but yes or no, is it different? Yeah or nay?
Let me explain, and I will get back to that. Okay?
I mean, you can
Are
say
you
yes
I
and
will,
then
I will,
explain.
no, I will get back to that for a specific reason. And this is a intellectual debate, right?
Yeah, intellectually you can say yes
So,
and then
so with
explain
an
why.
intellectual debate, I have to explain X, Y, and Z before I can get back to A.
No, you can give a yes or no
no,
answer,
that's
and
not-
then you can explain.
Anyway, so Solomon,
Really,
right?
we ain't-
Solomon. Solomon was during his time. He was known to have idols, right? Are you guys familiar with
Yes.
that? Right.
Solomon the Israelite, right? That you talking
King,
about?
Israelite king.
So sure. So Solomon, he had idols, right?
Yes.
And we believe Solomon was a prophet. And in our time, we're not allowed to have idols like that. We're not allowed to create idols, right? That's a difference. Why is that? Just like the scallop thing.
No, let him go.
No,
Let him
let
go.
me.
Let him
I'm
go.
gonna answer my own question. I'm gonna answer my own question. That's why I
letting
brought
you
it up.
go, dude. Chill out.
So,
We're letting you go. Go ahead.
all right. So, what I mean by all the prophets are from the same, they're of the same faith, they're of the same religion. The reason why I'm saying that is because essentially, when you break down the fundamentals.
No, you said they came with the same message.
There we go.
Yes, the same
When you
message.
tell we want the same respect.
Yes, the same message. The message is to worship God, to submit to God, to submit to Allah and Allah alone. That is the merger. That is the message, and to follow the footsteps of the prophet in which that has been sent to you. So that is the main message, right? Every single prophet has come with that exact same message. Now there are different nuances to and this is very complicated when you get into the actual study of Islam and of the Deen, but there are many nuances in, like for example, the 5 daily prayers that Muslims pray. Another example to back up what you're saying, because you're right. the 5 daily prayers. No other nation, no other ummah, no other group, no other prophet had prescribed that upon his people, besides the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But at the same time, we all say La ilaha illallah. We all say there is no God but Allah. So we all have, or all of the prophets have come with the exact same message, but there are some minor nuances that don't really matter. They're inconsequential to the actual main message that we're trying to get to, which is that there is no God but God.
Alright.
That's what I'm saying.
That was a lot. Now we're going to read a couple scriptures because you started off, your first example was Solomon worshiping idols like that was okay.
I never said he was worshiping idols.
You say he had idols.
He had idols.
Yeah, well that's not okay, right?
No, back then
So he
it was
didn't
okay.
teach that. No, it never was okay.
Never okay.
Let's bring that
No,
up.
it was okay back then.
No, it wasn't, bro. You got to
Exodus
prove
20.
where is that. The Bible says it's not okay. And you just said it. Hold on, just what you just said. You
When
said
did
that.
Solomon-
Brother, I'll let you go. Give me the same respect. You just said at the end of your whole breakdown, hold on. You just said at the end of your whole breakdown that the same message was just serve one God. It's an idol. At the end, you said everybody had the same message as serve one God.
Yes.
But it's an idol. If you're making idols, that's serving another God, correct? So you have an idol. What is that doing? What is idol worship?
I never said he was worshiping idols.
So he had idols to do what with him?
He had idols. I'm not sure. I'm not fully knowledgeable on the topic.
I know, but I'm saying, but you gotta understand. You seem like you're intellectual, like you said. You don't have idols to not do nothing with them. That's why you make them. Idols is made for idol worship.
It's not necessarily true.
Like what proves the point where you have idols.
I have anime figurines at my house. Those can be considered idols. I don't bow down to them.
Yeah, listen, you talking about Solomon.
Yes.
We're gonna bring out a scripture. Bring it up.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 11, verse 4. For it came to pass, when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods, which goes into idols.
That's the idols. He turns away his heart into other gods. Like you said, if you're making something an idol, that's going on. And you say he has idols. Now you got toys, you're not making them an idol, correct?
No,
But you saying Solomon had idols, so he made them idols, correct?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
All I know is that
if
Solomon
they called it idols,
worships one God. That's all I know.
but if they called it idols, right?
Okay.
I mean, he made them an idol, correct?
I don't know. I don't.
I mean,
the
that's
thing
pretty
is,
clear.
The thing is, I don't trust that scripture, so I don't see that as source material.
Well, even if
That's my
we
entire
don't bring the scripture out, you out your own mouth said Solomon had idols, and you went to this to say it was a difference in teachings.
Yes. He had idols.
I know, but our context was teaching different things, correct? Because I
Okay,
asked
but
you, I said,
what I meant, and this may have been my fault.
Okay.
What I meant was by teaching different things was the core of the belief. What's actually important in the belief is worshiping one God. That's what I'm saying is universally known to all of the prophets because it's a lineage, it's a chain.
okay.
So the prophet.
I don't want you to go too far because you did that. So let's go back to what I brought up on my example as a difference. If worshiping God is not, because worshiping is obeying Him, correct?
That's the part of worship, yes.
Yeah, so if he says don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, and another prophet comes to me and say I can, that's a difference in teaching. And that's just going to have me disobeying.
it is
Hold on, let me land the plane.
Right.
That's going to make me disobey what I got from this prophet that God told me not to do.
Which is a different
What's
worship.
wrong
You don't see nothing wrong with another prophet coming and telling me to do something that the other prophet told me not to do?
No,
to
if they're
worship
both
my
prophets.
God?
No, what's wrong with that?
That would be clear contradiction.
So
Hold on, let's go. Let's stop. That would be a clear contradiction.
You're right.
It would be wrong. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong.
That's not true.
That is.
No, it's not.
So if God said don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, and you come to me and say I can, that's different from what I already got from the prophet.
So let me explain to you why it's not true. That it's not a.
It's not different.
That it's not. So no, that's not what I'm saying.
And it's not disobeying.
It's not disobeying. Exactly. So for example, in our religion, we used to, you know how we pray 5 times a day, right? You guys know
Yes,
that?
we're familiar.
Okay, so.
And we'll say this before you go. Stay on your point and try to land your plane. Because that first time you kind of went, and it seemed like you didn't want to answer. You didn't want to answer. Was it different? Now you saying it's different. So all praise to the Most High.
Well, the thing is, I didn't fully explain my point, so you misunderstood me, and it was my fault. I
No,
did
but
not
the
fully
answer we wanted the yes or no is the different teachings from each prophet.
There are slight variations in what is allowed and what is not allowed, but
And
the
who's
core
the judge on
teaching-
slight?
Exactly.
What do you mean who's the judge?
Yeah, who is the judge? Just let me know this is slight or it's not slight.
Well, there's a huge difference between deciding who to worship and what you eat.
Okay, so let me read this.
But if part of me worshiping this God is him giving me a dietary law, that is very important. Because Muslims is strong on not eating pork. So if somebody coming to you and say, I'm a prophet now, let's eat pork, you're going to follow that?
Okay, but eating, no, of course not. But the thing
Why?
is, eating,
Because why?
Because there will be no prophet after Muhammad's law.
But what if you found something that they said was before a prophet? No, you just say let it believe. What if you said you found something that was before a prophet, Muhammad, that said that you can't eat?
It doesn't matter.
You just gonna ride with what that says, right? Because Muhammad is the prophet that taught you, that said don't eat pork. So Moses is that prophet for us.
Okay.
That said don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. So Muhammad or pork for that matter. So Muhammad come down the line saying, hey, you can't eat it now. That doesn't make sense.
I understand why it seems like that.
I mean, it is
like that.
Okay, I understand. I understand.
right?
No, I understand what you're saying. So I can go to my example. We pray 5
But can
times.
you admit that first example was terrible with the Solomon?
It
You
wasn't.
gotta admit that.
It wasn't.
Because you
No, I just didn't fully explain, and you did not understand what I was saying. But let me explain let me give you another example. All right. So again, we pray 5 times a day, right? When originally the Muslims were prescribed prayer, they would pray towards
Mecca.
towards Jerusalem.
Originally,
they would pray
towards
Jerusalem.
the holy city.
And then later, they were told.
He just said pray towards Jerusalem.
Oh, okay, gotcha. We were told to pray towards Jerusalem, and then later, during the Prophet's time, we were told to turn our prayer towards Mecca. So that's one thing. It's not a contradiction. It's not. He's not suddenly coming up with something else new. It's just that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala comes out with different. He comes out with different rulings over time.
All right, well, I seem like you landed right here. So
Did you hear what he said?
He
He said that at first the prophets told us to pray towards Jerusalem.
No, Prophet Muhammad. I'm not sure about the other prophets. I have no idea. I'm talking about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Originally, we prayed towards Jerusalem. This was before any of us were.
That's even more damning than all praises.
Why?
At first, Prophet Muhammad said to pray to Jerusalem. And then later down the road, he said to pray towards Mecca. So you got it.
What's wrong with that?
I just want to. I don't even. I don't see that. I want to ask him a question about this. So in the Quran, it tells you to follow the Torah, correct?
Not necessarily, no.
Well, let's see what it reads.
This is Surah 3:3. It says, He has sent down upon you, O Muhammad, the book and truth, confirming what was before it. And he revealed the Torah and the gospel before as guidance for the people. And he revealed the Quran. Indeed, those who disbelieve the verses of Allah will have a severe punishment, and Allah is exalted in might, the owner of retribution.
Back me up.
Huh?
Back me up.
Yeah, so if he said follow anybody that don't follow what he just said, the Torah. So if the Torah tell you don't eat shrimp, bring it back. Bring it back.
You want me to explain what he said?
I'm about to bring it back.
He has sent down upon you, O Muhammad, the book and truth, confirming what was before it, and he revealed the Torah and the gospel.
Salaki, stop right there. Confirming what was before the Quran.
Correct.
Go ahead. Confirming what was before. What was before it?
Belief in one God.
No. What book was before that? What information and truth was before that?
The Torah came out before that.
Okay, so go ahead.
Correct.
Before as guidance for the people.
Break that down.
Come.
So it's saying the Torah is guidance for the people, yes?
It was, yes.
Okay.
Hold on, he said it was, and not no more.
I mean, there's some wisdom in the book, but I don't believe that it has its integrity. So
It's not a guidance anymore.
That's not necessarily. I'm saying that it has a book. It's a book of wisdom, but I have no reason to follow it because the Quran is wrong.
It's not a guidance. That's it.
So basically,
No, you could probably find
I know
some
what I'm
guidance,
saying, but you don't have to. So that it's not the guidance for you to.
The Quran is a guidance, not like you said, right?
I got another one.
Yeah, but the thing is,
You got that one.
but the thing is with that ayah, wait, hold on. With that ayah that you
wait.
talked about, so let me touch on that specifically. So in Islam, we have the 6 pillars of faith, right? In the 6 pillars, have you heard of that?
Yes.
Okay, the 6 pillars of faith. Part of that, we have to believe that the other books were sent in Revelation, and we have to believe that those were sent by God, right?
Yeah.
Now, it is also.
But you don't have to believe in them.
That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, go ahead.
So the books, it is also known to us as Muslims. I'm not sure if it's in the Quran or the Hadith. It's escaping me right now. I believe it might be in the Quran. But it's also known that those books have been changed. We've been told that by our Prophet and by our Lord, right? That those books have been modified.
Salaki, real quick though, because I do want you to finish that. But you know that's a modern ideology that the book was changed.
Can you
the
prove that it
scriptures were
hasn't been?
changed. This is the point. I can because we have the source documents. But then listen though, real quick, is that the early Muslims, even Muhammad, believed in the scriptures. And they believed that the children of Israel, they got all of their faith in how to praise the Most High God from the Israelites.
Wait, hold on, wait. Where did you hear that from?
That's in the Hadith. Do you believe in Hadith, yes or no?
What Hadith? Of course I do.
The Al-Bukhari.
Okay.
The Hadith.
And what's the
The
Hadith?
one that the majority of the Arab word.
Can you quote the Hadith to me?
Yes. Let me bring it up for you. I can quote a couple things from the Hadith that you might not want to know, but go ahead, finish what you were saying.
I'm welcome to hearing everything.
Okay. Well, this is in the Hadith. You believe that this is the Sahih Al-Bukhari?
Hold on. Can I look it up?
Yeah, I'm just holding it down because I took notes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a screenshot.
Okay, yeah, I recognize that Hadith.
Okay. Now, as far as the religion of Islam goes, right? Who were the first Muslims? Who were the first in Islam?
I don't understand.
As far as nation of people,
What do you mean?
were the Chinese the first people who were the Muslims, or the children of, or the believers of Islam?
Well,
Nation-wise,
that's kind of a weird
nationality-wise.
question.
It's not a weird question because the Arabs were clearly
the first nation of Muslims was Adam.
was what?
The first nation
Was the people of Adam?
human Muslims was Adam alayhi salam.
So okay, not what you believe the word Muslim means. But
Is
the
say
faith.
Islam as a
Islam
faith.
as a faith
Yeah, it was Adam alayhi salam.
through Muhammad.
No, it was Adam.
So Islam has been a thing since Adam.
Yes.
So,
Actually, since before Adam.
prove
Because
that
there
though.
was-
You gotta prove what you say though.
So get the precept where in the Quran say that Muhammad was the first Muslim. Go ahead, bring
Which
that
one?
out.
Grab the first one.
And I, Muhammad, am commanded to be the first of those who bow down, who bow to Allah and Islam.
That's Surah 39 and 12.
Okay. Do you know the context? The context behind that?
What's the context behind something that's playing upon tables? He said that him, Muhammad, this is Muhammad speaking, right? Says that he was commanded to be the first one to bow down to Allah in the name of Islam.
Okay. And I told
So
you
how
earlier,
can I- so-
and I talked to you earlier about how we're the first nation who has been commanded prayer.
What's your name, King?
Atik.
Atik?
Atik.
Atik, we strike fists in our hands. But Atik, that's not what the Quran says. That's what Atik says.
What are you talking about?
The Quran really just told us that Muhammad was the first to bow down in Islam, in the name of Islam, to Allah. He was the first, not Adam,
Okay. And you know what bow down means?
to give reverence, to praise, to worship.
It's an action. It's prayer.
Yeah.
It's salah.
Yeah. So
can I see the Arabic of that?
Adam never prayed. That's what you're saying.
It's not necessarily what I'm saying.
So how if Adam was the first to be in Islam and he prayed, how is Muhammad the first to pray in Islam?
Can I see the Arabic?
I gotta pull it up.
You pull it up in Arabic. Come on, that's it. Read full surah.
Oh, praise.
What was it, 12?
She don't know what it says.
Don't forget what you was holding.
To worship Allah.
Forget what you was holding.
Sincerely devoted to Him alone, and am commanded to be the first of those who submit.
Time. So it's 39 and 11 and 39 and 12.
Also, with you asking to see that and saying that you didn't know it said that, how were you about to explain the context of what that just said? You asked my brother, do you understand the context of that? But before, you had just told him you didn't even know that that was there.
Didn't know what was it.
What you're reading
The
now,
surah.
you stated you didn't even know that it said that. That's why you're reviewing it at this moment.
I said that I didn't know that this was here.
Yes.
Okay, well I'm not perfect. I didn't memorize the Quran.
Just my question is, like, if you didn't even know that that was a thing, how were you about to give him correct context?
I mean, I know I've studied other aspects of the religion, and I know what goes into certain ayats. And
Real-
I know,
real quick,
and
just-
I know
just
the
to be
fact
real
that-
with you.
And I know the fact that certain
Yeah.
ayats were revealed at certain times for specific reasons at certain situations. The entire book didn't just come down.
All praise.
No, it was-
Just to
it
be
was
real
a-
with you
it was
though,
over-
we want
it
to
was
be
over years.
transparent with you, right?
Okay.
Brothers have been in Islam. Like we're not like new to this. We've studied Islam. This brother was literally in Islam.
Okay.
So we're not new to this whatsoever. So as far as the understanding, my brother, even in the Arabic or in the Hebrew, we're gonna give you the understanding as we see it. And for one, what we see is that the Palestinians over there are not the original Philistines of the land, and the Jewish people are not the real Israelites of the land. They weren't there.
What is Palestinian?
The Palestinian.
Palestine was something that was created up by the Europeans.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, right? Because the original Palestinians were the Philistines that you can actually read about, which were Hamites, Hamitic nations, Africans, people with dark skin. You see that? And that's why the land of Canaan, which is what they're fighting over right now, was originally the Hamitic people living there. And then the Israelites came and took over the story of Joshua during Jericho, right? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, King, is that you would be the actual Israelite who that land actually belongs to, you and your forefathers.
That's right.
And they're over there fighting over the land that's not even theirs in the first place.
Okay, well, back to this. So what was
ahead.
your point in saying this, though? About those two ayat?
Well, it cut the point that you said that Adam was the first Muslim,
It was.
but the Quran says that Muhammad was the first Muslim.
What does Muslim mean?
In this context, it's talking about Islam as far as a religion.
Does it say that?
Yeah, Islam.
Where?
Look, watch this. Hold on. Before you even grab it. Hold on. It says in the 39:11, it says, "Say, I am commanded to worship Allah, being sincerely devoted to Him alone," meaning that He was king, meaning that He was the first to worship Allah.
You're talking about
Islam.
this, right?
Yes,
Islam is not in that sentence.
king. When it's talking about worshiping Allah, right?
Yes.
You said that Adam worshiped Allah,
Yes.
right? Now, what it's
Where
saying
is
right here,
Islam in that
first of all,
sentence?
real quick, alone, meaning that He is the one to alone worship Islam, meaning that He was the
Worship
first.
Allah.
No. Worship Allah.
Yeah, to
alone.
worship Allah.
Worship
Salaki.
Allah alone.
I misspoke. I mean Islam. I meant Allah.
And that's perfect though, because let's not play semantics. Worshiping Allah is the foundational principle of Islam as a religion.
Yes.
So,
And that's the same foundation that every prophet has come with.
well, not at all, not at all. Because if you look at all of our Israelites, all of the prophets who are from Israelites, we never worship Allah. We worship Yahweh. That is true.
Yahweh,
No, not Yahweh. First of all,
whoever, the one God, the one
Yahweh.
God that's supreme.
Yahweh.
That same concept is the exact same concept as Islam. It's the
No,
exact
no, it's
same
not.
being.
No, it's not. It's not, because we have certain laws, statutes, and commandments that we commanded as Israelites, right? That don't line up with the Quran
Okay,
and with Allah.
Okay, what of those statutes and commandments are such big differences
Uh-huh.
that it would create a
I'ma
that
tell
it
you-
would turn you away from the singular intention
I'm
of
gonna
religion?
tell you. Well, it's not a religion; it's our heritage. First of all, right? You know what I'm saying? Well, we just speaking transparently. The number one thing, one chief thing is in Islam, you guys call Yahushua Isa, right? You call Jesus Isa, right?
Yes.
You don't believe that he's the son of God and that he's the that's a primary difference. That
Well,
our
the Bible
prophets,
doesn't teach that.
the Bible does teach that.
That Jesus is the Son of God.
Yes, the
Yes.
Bible definitely teaches that.
Okay, let me see.
Pull it up, brother. What
Jesus
1,000 precepts do you want? Go ahead, pull them up. So that's a
Does the
chief
Bible
difference.
not also refer to other people as the sons of God?
Sons of God. No,
But not the only begotten Son of God, not the anointed, not the Christ.
Okay.
It's
But
a
they're
big
sons,
difference.
right?
Yeah, only Israelites. It only refers to Israelites
Oh,
as
so
the
you're all
sons of God. Yes, but we're not the anointed
The
son of God.
anointed Son of
It's
God.
a big difference.
Which is the only begotten.
Okay, so Jesus, right? Let's
Which was a
let's
Hebrew
shift
Israelite, by
let's-
the way, but go ahead.
Sure. Let's shift away from.
I like how
from
I like this brother be dismissive on things that's
No, we
sure,
can
you know
go
what I'm
back.
saying?
We can go back.
That's
But
funny.
let me because I want to play on what you guys were talking about about how Jesus is so-called Son of God, right? Jesus pooped.
Did Jesus poop?
Did he poop?
What do you mean? Did he go to the bathroom?
Did he
Hold
poop?
on, I got all praise.
Of course he did.
So is Jesus God?
No,
He's not God.
we never said Jesus was God.
But he's a son of
Hold
God.
on. We never said Jesus was
But you're
God.
saying he's a son of God.
Right, but we never said he was God. You see how what he tried to do there?
I got back cut right here.
Did
Go
he
ahead.
poop?
Right.
Yeah, I'm about to say, man, come on, bro. You know we ain't
It's,
gonna-
hey, it's the thing is, it's
You got it?
Yeah.
the thing is,
I'm going back to this tour, man.
we can go back to it, sure.
Go ahead.
Let me
I
grab.
thought you guys were on the same kind of thing.
As
that
a
Christians
Christian
are
church, no.
No, we not.
on. You also said that you're not monotheistic.
No, we not.
No.
All right.
Well, let me grab this just to clear that up, and then we'll all praise. We can get back to that. This is Hebrews 2:17. This is wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren. So this is Christ being made like unto the Israelites, that he might be a merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to God, to make reconciliation for the sins of people. Right. So he was made like his people. What's the one? Sloppy. I'm about to grab that. But really, we can get back to what he was talking about, because that is what matters the most.
Even with that, though, we're going to go to this surah that's even speaking on Jesus and speaking on this Torah. So we see the context. We're talking about the Torah got Allah's judgment, right? Let's keep going. We see what's in the Torah. It's saying some things, eye for eye. But look, and those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed are truly wrongdoers. Then in the footsteps of the prophets, we sent Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the Torah revealed before him. And we gave him the gospel containing guidance and light, and confirming what was revealed in the Torah, a guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So let the people of the gospel judge by what Allah has revealed in it. Talking about the Torah, this is the context. And those who do not judge by what Allah has revealed are truly the rebellious. So if you go into this Torah and you're doing something that against what the Torah told you to do, you are rebellious. You're not following what Allah told you to do.
That's not necessary.
It's not necessary, or is it true or not?
No, it's
You
not.
don't believe this.
No, I do believe that.
So is this not telling you to go by the judgments that's in the Torah?
It's not telling me that.
So who is talking to?
So there are different parts in the Quran, right? Different parts in the Quran that are direct commands to the Muslims at that time and to the people at that time. This is a book for all time, but there are certain ayat, certain verses in the Quran that are not necessarily applicable for all time.
So this verse right here is for the God-fearing of that time, but not for the God-fearing of this time.
Of this
So
time.
let me look at the verse.
I heard it right.
Okay, all right. So in the footsteps of the prophets, we see Jesus, son of Mary, confirming the Torah before him, because
Gave a guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So let the people of the gospel, is that this? So are you not people of the gospel? You're not the people of the gospel?
What makes you?
Okay.
Who are the people of the gospel?
I'm of the Quran.
I'm saying, who are the people of the gospel?
I believe Christians, right? Is it not?
No.
Who's the people of the gospel?
The gospel, according to the prophet Isaiah.
Yeah, but even when you even go into this context of talking about gospel, they sent forth Jesus. But you got to think this all coming from the Torah. And look, and footsteps of the prophet, he sent Jesus confirming the Torah. So he's confirming, and we gave him the
And this
gospel.
confirms the Torah.
No, look, and we gave him the gospel containing the guidance and the light, confirming that was revealed in the Torah. So the
this confirms
Torah,
both of those
I know, but the Torah is part of the gospel as well.
Clearly.
Yeah, it is.
So you should be following that.
Why?
Because it's the words
telling
of
you to do
Allah.
that. But or you're
This
rebellious or you're not God.
But this confirms that too, doesn't it?
Confirms what?
The Torah and the gospel.
What? This confirms that? Yeah, so okay, let's agree to that. So this should be lining up. This shouldn't be contrary to the Torah.
To the Quran.
Okay, it wasn't originally. But
So
my,
now it is.
but my entire
Hold
claim
on. The
that
key
it has
is
been changed.
no. This is the thing
That's
is so
my
the
entire
integrity
point.
is not the integrity of the scriptures.
Didn't I say
It's
that
the
at the
integrity. But see, now you just cut
Yeah,
your point. It's the
yeah.
integrity of the Quran has been changed. It's because the scriptures ain't changed. Even when you get into the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? When we go to the source documents, okay, we can see in the Dead Sea Scrolls, we can see in the Septuagint, we can see in the Masoretic texts, which are the source documents of the scriptures that way predate the compilation of the Bible in this form. All of the books, all 80 books are there. We even got all 80 books here. We got the apocryphal books.
Even in English.
Okay, now prove that the Quran is not held up to its integrity.
No, this is the point. No, that's
You
not,
just proved it.
No, you just claimed it.
Yeah, because you just proved it. Because this is how. Because you just stated, hey, you peep this. He asked for me to prove that the Quran is not holding up to its integrity. He just proved it because his first statements that he stood on was that the Bible was corrupted and didn't hold up to its integrity.
Yeah.
But now when you look at the Quran, right, and this surah, it explicitly tells you that you have to follow the Torah, right? So
It's definitely saying
that's
that.
definitely, and you just agreed that it said that because this is what you said. You said that, because remember he said that those
in the
two should line
footsteps
up.
of the prophets.
And now
we
the
sent
Quran
Jesus,
don't line up.
the
With
son
Torah,
of
so
Mary,
it's corrupt.
confirming the Torah that's what revealed even before him. And we gave him the gospel containing guidance and light and confirming what was revealed in the Torah.
So what?
A guide and a lesson to the God-fearing. So that's your guidance. You just told us earlier, it's not my guidance, I don't have to follow it. But this is saying that the Torah is the guide and the lesson to the God-fearing.
Okay, and who was this ayah directed to?
This is to anybody that's want to follow God.
believers.
He's gonna follow
This is
Islam.
To the
true. If you want to
believers,
follow,
the
look,
Muslims.
this is a guy. Even if I'm talking to this person, I'm giving you a guide to anybody that want to follow God. I don't care if it's 30 years down the line. You should give them that guide to follow God.
Unless,
Come on, man.
hold on, look, King.
It's telling us a guide.
And guess what? But he just cut his own doctrine. You know why? Because this is how you know that the Quran doesn't have an integrity. Because it can change based on time. It's not absolute like the law. That's
But you understand
that
that
is
the
what you
Torah
said.
is the
That
guide
is.
that is speaking to
I
us.
said that there are certain verses, like for example, okay, there are certain aspects in the religion.
I'm
They're
the
not
Lord, I
applicable
change
to
not.
certain people at different times.
Exactly.
That means
Which
it's
means that it
changed.
changed.
No, that's not at all what that
Because
means.
watch this. Let me show you. Let me show you how that
So
would
let me
though.
finish my example.
Real quick though. Let me show you how that would.
No, but let me finish my example.
Well, you made a
then
statement, and then you can finish whatever you want to finish.
The example is part of my statement, so let me just finish.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
Go
for
ahead.
example, people said that there are 5 stages of prophethood, right? I'm not going to go
Who
into
said
all
that?
that. Okay, within the deed, the scholars, I'm saying, we say that there are 5 stages of prophethood within the prophet. I'm sorry, I meant Revelation. 5 stages of essentially what you should do, what the Muslims do during the time of the prophets. Like they broke it down into 5 stages. Is what I'm trying to say. So the last 2 stages are essentially stage 4 is essentially living amongst the people as a Muslim. You're just living your life, as long as your rights are being infringed upon, just living your life. And then the 5th stage is actually going out actively, and if you need to battle. We're clearly not battling. So does that mean that because I'm not battling that I'm not Muslim? No, that's not what that means. It's
That's
just
a
that there
different
are certain-
context.
That's a completely different
No,
concept.
it's not a different context.
We'll explain to you why. No, we'll explain to you why.
Let me finish my point.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, land your point.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So my point
Where you
is
getting cut?
that there are different aspects of the religion, there are different aspects of Islam that apply to different walks of life, different things that people are required to do, different things that they should do.
Oh, I'm glad you said
It's
that.
an
I'm glad you said that.
all-encompassing thing.
I'm glad. It's a what?
It's an all-encompassing thing.
Y'all heard what he said. It's
Let-
an all-encompassing thing,
keeps
right?
cutting me off.
Brother,
You won't
I'm.
let me finish what I'm saying.
Listen.
Well,
Let
out of
me finish what
respect,
I'm
though,
saying.
We will ask you, brother, stay on one point and land your plane. Like you said, intellectual dialogue should make 2 to 3 points because it's hard to remember. Your
Okay, well
first
that's
point.
not mine. That's not my fault. That's yours.
No, that's your fault for not being intellectual enough.
No,
to-
I'm being
Hold on,
I'm
let me
being
stop now
intellectually
because you gotta stop because intellectual out of love. If I say a point, I'm gonna let you rebuttal that point. I'm not gonna give you 4 to 5 points.
This
and
isn't
dance
4 to 5
around.
points. I'm giving you 1 point and I'm expounding upon it.
Brother, they just said you went to another context.
You did.
Didn't y'all just say that?
You did win another contest.
Stay
Okay,
in
well the
lane,
thing
brother.
is, I have to explain this context to explain that context.
Well,
That's
go ahead.
not-
Finish what you were saying.
Okay, well
not
what was I
intellectual.
saying? I was saying it's a way of life.
You said it's
It-
all encompassing.
It's
That's
all
what he was
encompassing.
at.
It's a way of life, right? So Islam was sent down to complement Muslims everywhere. Muslims who are dealing with X, Y, and Z in China are definitely not dealing with what Muslims in America are dealing with. In China, they're being prosecuted very heavily. The Uyghur Muslims, they're being prosecuted. They're being put in concentration camps, right? So they have a different, not necessarily set of rules, but they have different things that they should abide by.
That's not in the Quran?
I'm saying this is a scholarly understanding.
Okay.
This is a scholarly understanding. So they have certain things that they should do and certain things that they should abide by that are different from what we have to abide by. For another example.
No,
okay,
we get the example.
Just a further
We get what you're saying though.
For example, during the time of the Prophet, right? There were Muslims in Abyssinia.
Time of
right?
which prophet?
My prophet, my last prophet. Well, all of them are my prophet. But
Muhammad?
Yeah, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? During his time, there were Muslims in Abyssinia. And in Abyssinia, there was a just king where they were allowed to live amongst the population and they didn't really have to worry about their own security, right? At that same time, the Muslims in Mecca were being prosecuted and they had to worry about their own security. And they had to leave Mecca to go to Medina. They had different things that they had to do even though they're both Muslims. So
but were those different things different as far as the Quran tells them to do?
So the thing is, you have the Quran, you have the Hadith, right?
Yeah.
The Quran is the ultimate book, but we cannot understand the Quran without the Hadith. And then even further, the Hadith and the Quran, we cannot fully understand that without the tafsir, without the scholarly opinions.
See that? You see that?
No,
That's corruption.
That's
corruption.
The Quran don't even tell you that. I thought there's no more prophets after Muhammad.
No. There are no prophets.
I know, but people that write the Hadith is going to help you understand this. That's what you're saying?
Only one person came out with the Hadith that was a prophet.
Yeah. But then,
was he after Muhammad? The Hadith.
I'm talking about
the Hadith is the traditions and the sayings of Muhammad.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm saying somebody had to write that.
Exactly.
Somebody wrote the
scribed it.
Quran.
He did, but then listen.
because Muhammad was illiterate.
Follow me on this, man. You saying you got to name it like 2 to 3 other people that's going. You said nobody can understand the Quran in totality. Is that what you were saying?
Of course, nobody can.
Okay, so you need other people to write more things. Is that what you're saying?
To interpret it.
Yeah, to interpret it, to tell you that look, this might say do this, but you in a different land, a different time, so do this.
I mean,
That's what you said.
completely to that degree. The way you're saying it is disingenuous.
That's what he's.
No,
No,
that's
that's
not.
not.
It's not like that. This is so bold because you just said that. You said
No,
people
the
in this
reason
land.
why I didn't say it like that is because it's disingenuous.
That's not
No, it's not
disingenuous.
disingenuous.
No, it's not.
It's straight up and down. I'm
Right.
not beating around the bush like you. That's all that is. I just kept it straight up and down, straightforward. You saying that if you're in this land, the Quran might say this, but that was for their time. But you're in this time, so do something different.
And then he just made
You
this.
said that.
And he made the point with an example of the wicked king in Abyssinia. I mean, the righteous
so
king
you
in
can't-
Abyssinia.
Okay.
Now that we
okay,
repeat
and
it,
now
you see
what's-
how
and now
crazy
what-
it sounds.
and now
Yeah.
what's wrong?
You even
You
saw
don't
was
see that.
If
You don't see nothing wrong with that?
there were certain times the prophet.
Well, let me be clear.
The
You know,
prophet was a-
let me answer your question. What's wrong with that is it shows that the Quran is corrupted because you came for the scriptures because it doesn't line up with the scriptures. Like the Quran says it should line up with the Torah. The Quran doesn't line up with the Torah, so that means the Torah is not corrupted.
doesn't
The
say it should
Quran
line
is
up-
corrupted.
It doesn't say that this is word for word what
It
the
does.
Quran and Torah.
Look,
what the Torah says.
nobody said word for word. We said
that
that.
this is
line
the
up.
guide in the lesson.
Did I say
bro.
word
We
for
can't
word?
Get away from this. And any, if
fact
you
that
want to
you
bring
have
up
different
scholarly, look
interpretations.
up commentary on this.
See,
Any
our
commentary and
scriptures
scholar
have a
will show you. Yeah, look up this. Will show you that this is the Torah. You should follow it. It's not gonna seem like, yeah, well, in that time you should have followed the Torah, but now you should.
So the way that the scholars view the Torah and the other books that came before the Quran, they view them as, okay, well, if there's nothing in there that contradicts the Quran and Sunnah, then we can accept it, but we don't change our faith based on it.
So if something do contradict, then what we do with that?
Then we discard it. If
Discard
something
the
in
Torah
here-
part.
Yeah.
So when the Torah say don't eat shrimp, crab, and lobster, but the Hadith or something say you can,
Yeah,
discard that part of the Torah.
Yes. And the reason
That's
why
what we need.
That's what we
and the-
needed.
And the reason why, okay, fine.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
I'll
not
further
like that.
And I'll
It's
further
not like that.
And I'll
Don't
further
take it
expand
that
on
way.
it. I'll further expand on it, and I'll double down on that. So there's a concept of the prophets, right? The prophets and the messengers, right? So the different prophets and the different messengers, they would come with different scriptures, and the scholars say
For clarity, different scriptures from where?
Different scriptures from Allah.
So Allah gave them the scriptures. This is after Muhammad.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to ask you that.
Oh, so you said like Moses,
100 times
Isaiah. So hold on, you talking about Moses, Isaiah, and all
Yes, I'm
them.
talking about all the prophets
Allah
before.
gave them things to do, to tell the children of Israel to do, that now they shouldn't do.
Yes. Some things, yes.
But then, even with future, because this is given to Muhammad. So even with Muhammad teaching to still follow the Torah, this is his teaching, long after all the other prophets, he's still teaching to follow the Torah. So why would it be a contradiction in his teachings in the Torah?
So let me bring up one example.
It would be a good chance for him right here to say, but things that contradict, just roll with this over that. Because how can you be so 100% sure when if it's a contradiction, the Torah got to be wrong? How you don't know that the Quran can't be wrong? How can you 100% say that?
So let me finish my point.
Then you're going to answer that what I just asked you.
Yes, because my point goes into what you're
Let's see
saying.
then. I want to see this.
So the prophets, they came with different messages. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying, okay? Because you know what I mean by different. I've already stated.
No, we don't know.
No, you know what I mean by different.
No, we don't, because we've proven that it's
But
different.
which prophets came with different messages? Because when you say that the prophets came with different messages, right?
You still don't
We're
let me
thinking,
finish what I'm saying.
because we have to understand what you're saying, right? we
Okay,
can't
I've already
just.
explained what I'm saying. So let
But
me
listen,
re-
But
let
it
me
wasn't.
re-
It
let me
wasn't.
re-explain.
It wasn't clear.
It wasn't clear the first time.
I'll re-explain.
So I have to ask you
Okay,
though.
I'll re-explain.
Okay,
Okay.
alright, go
So
ahead.
the central message of all of the prophets has been to worship one God, to worship Allah, to submit your will to Allah.
Okay,
right?
what can you name the
And I still
Which
can't.
prophets?
you gotta tell us the
say-
prophet.
Up until the Prophet Muhammad.
So
Isaiah, Jeremiah,
Every
and
single
all
one.
that.
I've said this like 10 times.
You wasn't clear, man. We asked if
Why
you
do I have
supposed
to be clear 10 to 10 more
let me ask
times? I
you
already
this.
said this.
If you supposed to be, because you got bold and said, "Oh, I'm scholarly." If you scholarly,
I
bro-
never said I'm scholarly. When did I
You
say
said,
that?
you said
I never said I'm scholarly. I said the scholarly opinion, the scholarly view.
no,
I never
but
claimed to be a
you said
scholar.
let's have
I don't even
an
have the Quran
intellectual
memorized.
debate.
I'm not-
An intellectual debate is a scholarly debate. So, but go ahead, Ken.
That's okay. All right. Anyway, that's
Is it-
neither here nor there.
Go
Anyway,
ahead.
I gotta say,
So-
we like you, brother, because you an Israelite related believer. But you being disingenuous, brother.
okay.
Go ahead.
So, can I finish this point?
Go
Before you guys
ahead.
interrupt
All
me?
praise. Go ahead.
Lord willing.
Okay. So the different prophets, right? We have something called the Sharia, right? The Sharia is the rulings, the laws, right?
The Sharia laws. All right.
The Sharia laws. People commonly misinterpret that as just being like for example, like what to do with criminals, right? But that's not necessarily all the Sharia, right? The Sharia is everything that is ordained within the religion, right? So the prophets, there were prophets and there were messengers, right? And so the messengers, they came with, or I'm sorry, actually I'm incorrect there. So sometimes the prophets would come, majority of the time the messengers would come with books, sometimes prophets would come with books. But the point is, whenever a new book came, that was a new Sharia. A new Sharia means there's a new ruling. There are a new couple of rulings, but the central message of worship one God and follow that prophet that came with that message has stayed the same. Okay?
And I'm sorry, I'm kind of slow, and I'm trying to follow. So these new books that were coming, is this pre-Muhammad or post-Muhammad?
There is no post-Muhammad. There are no prophets after Muhammad. There are none. They don't exist. They do not exist.
So there'll never be another
There
prophet
will
after
never be
Muhammad.
another prophet
But
after
hold
Muhammad.
on. You just said Sharia law. Sharia law comes after Muhammad. Brother, first of all,
There's a shar. Shar is...
Sharia law
Yes.
comes after Muhammad. You're
Okay,
talking
so
about
you're
who
thinking
studied
of two
this. Ken.
different. You're thinking of two different sharias.
Okay, so what Sharia came
Sharia
before?
law is a field of study, is a concept that has been generated based upon the different concepts that we can draw from the religion. It has been cultivated and collected into this specific field of study.
Where did Sharia come from?
So Sharia
Okay, go ahead.
simply means ruling. There are simply laws, okay?
And some of those laws came after Muhammad, correct? Or you said another came after Muhammad?
No, they didn't come after Muhammad. They came because of Muhammad.
Okay.
You're right.
They came because of Muhammad. Directly.
Can you prove that it didn't come after Muhammad? Because I can prove that it did.
Sure, yes, I can.
Burden of proof.
Anything that's a valid...
Prove
that's,
it. Prove
what?
that it didn't come after Muhammad.
What?
Sharia law.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's my point.
King,
You're misunderstanding me. I'm saying Sharia law is a separate concept
then what?
from Sharia.
Do you follow Sharia law? Or Sharia? Let me just say that. Free law.
You're not understanding.
Can you just say yes or no? He don't say yes or no.
I'm just asking you yes or
You
no.
know this. He ain't say yes or no. The
I
whole
took
time.
the ball out of it. I just said Sharia. Do you follow Sharia?
The Sharia of the Prophet Muhammad
Yeah.
I try to follow it as best as I can.
Where do you find it?
It's everywhere. It's in the Quran. It's in the Sunnah.
Okay, King.
That's my point. My point is that the Sharia
King,
law
hold on,
is an
hold on.
extrapolation
What was
from
your
the
name again, King?
Quran.
I don't know what's your name was. Atik. So Atik, King. First of all, you don't want to make blanket statements. In an intellectual debate, you can't make a blanket statement like it's everywhere.
What was wrong with that statement?
That it's everywhere?
It's everywhere in the Quran.
The Sharia over there?
In the Quran and Sunnah.
King.
That's what I said.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not in the Bible. You can't say
I said the
everywhere.
Quran and Sunnah. That was the next thing that I said. What are you talking about?
Okay. You said that because I said, everywhere you said, then you...
No, that was what I
you
said in
expound.
that sentence before you said that. I said the Sharia is everywhere in the Quran and Sunnah. There's no way y'all can not
Okay.
accept it.
Okay.
I
Cool.
said that.
Okay, cool. Now define Sharia.
Sharia is just rulings, just laws, just things that we need to follow.
That you find within the Quran and the Hadith as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Now that, again, let me reiterate.
And the top seers, he ain't even talking about the top seers.
Yeah. My thing is though, when did the Hadith come about? Did it come about before the Quran or after the Quran?
How can they come about before the Quran if the Prophet...
I agree, right? Because the reason I'm going down this path, do you agree that the Prophet Muhammad was illiterate?
Yes.
Because that's previously stated in multiple different publications. Right? So that means that somebody wrote the Hadith after the Quran.
Somebody wrote the Quran too.
And there's revelations that came about in Hadith that you didn't see in the Quran of things. So somebody prophesied and told and gave truth after the Quran, correct?
No.
Oh God.
Okay, that was contradictory
Take this
How is
pic.
it contradictory?
Let's take this
because I don't
So
see.
the Prophet, so the Hadith...
That was
they
contradictory.
the Hadith came, the majority of the Hadith, they came from the Prophet and his closest companions, right? The vast majority came from the Prophet, and then there are some opinions, they're not on the same level, but there are some opinions that the Prophets, or I'm sorry, that the Prophet's companions have that can also be considered a different kind of Hadith, but I'll leave that off.
Okay, so well, you said in the beginning you said that some of the Hadith came from the Prophet Muhammad, meaning that he said it, and then a scribe wrote it.
Yes.
Okay, so when we just read, matter of fact, I might as well bring it back up, in the Hadith, and Sahih al-Bukhari at that, not the Fugazi one, whichever one you think is not the right Hadith. I don't know which one you think that is. But in that Hadith, it says, while we were sitting with the Prophet in the mosque, a man came riding on a camel. Now, is this Muhammad saying this in a third person, or is this a person writing this about Muhammad?
Read the Hadith.
I'm going to read it for you. While we were sitting with the Prophet in the mosque, a man came riding on a camel. He made his camel kneel down in the mosque, tied his foreleg, and then said, "Who amongst you is Muhammad?" At that time, the Prophet was sitting amongst us, his companions, leaning on his arm. We replied, "This white man reclining on his arm." Now, is that somebody writing about Muhammad, or is Muhammad telling somebody to describe it in the Hadith?
In the context, it says while we were sitting with the Prophet.
Okay, so that means that who wrote this?
Someone other than the Prophet.
And the Prophet didn't tell him to write it, right?
Not necessarily.
Okay, and is this a revelation of what that man was trying to find out who Muhammad was? Sorry? Did this reveal truth about who Muhammad was to whoever wanted to know who Muhammad was at the time? Did that reveal the truth?
Did it reveal truth about who he was?
Yes.
Yes.
So Muhammad a white man.
Not only is Muhammad a white man, more truth was revealed after the Prophet Muhammad, because the Hadith came after him, and this is somebody that didn't quote Muhammad, he said it himself.
We can get a pic right there.
Again, the Arabs
Let's
did
get
not
this-
refer.
let's get this, pic.
The Arabs did not refer.
Let's
The
get this
Arabs did
pic.
not refer to people the same way that we refer to people.
We don't refer to people the same way America refer to people. You know.
Okay, whatever, just in general.
Well, look, we'll leave you with this.
It was a different culture. It was a different.
No, we understand that. It was Atin, right? Atik. Salaki. Atik. Whether you like it, believe it, respect it, understand it or not, you an Israelite, you got to repent, keep the commandments, and coming back to serve Yahweh, the true God, the true Most High God.
Okay, you're not going to
right?
convert me. So.
Well, I'm not. Listen, look, we're not trying to. I'm not trying to convert you.
I don't
Look,
care.
look. That's good. You'll be destroyed in the land of your enemies, brother. If you don't repent, we still got to give you the judgment.
Unfortunately for you guys, I'm confident in what I believe in.
No, that's not unfortunate from us. That's unfortunate for you.
Okay, that's fine.
Because real quick though, because when I walked up, what was the first thing I asked you as to why you had that mitra on your neck?
Because I support the Palestinians. Because first of all, they're under a humanitarian crisis. Second of all, a good portion of them are Muslim, and it hurts when I see my Muslims getting hurt.
Real quick, do you descend from the slave trade in America? Were your ancestors slaves? Okay, when has the Palestinians stood up and done anything?
So you don't care about your own people?
They don't care about.
Oh, you a damn coon.
Y'all heard that?
You're a damn coon. You're a damn
He care more
coon.
about another people than his own people.
You're a damn
You
coon.
don't care about what happened to
Arabic people. I care about Muslims.
You're a coon, brother. He a coon. He a coon.
Friends with no Christians or Jews, right?
that's true.
Care about you?
I have like one Christian.
The Quran tell you not to do that.
Well, no, that's so again. That's a,
That was from a different time period,
no,
remember?
That's another misunderstanding. So there's a difference between a.
Yeah, coon.
So like you have.
So he already filmed. We can just take this picture.
So
Yeah, we take the
it's
picture.
saying that
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Quran
yeah.
was saying that you should not take the non-Muslims. And first of all, as far as I understand, whenever the Quran refers to the non-Muslims, it's talking about the monotheists.
They say friends with Christians or Jews. They just say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
We're gonna bring it out. Let's take this picture. We're gonna bring that out.
No, it's fine. You can